Human pride is an egotistical divide. Okay. I'm a 50-year-old artist. Okay. I have my specialty things. So, like, other people, they look at me when I'm doing something and they criticize that there could be a better, more efficient way. One way or another. But I know it's not true. Because every life force is different. Not everybody wakes up with a whole situation facilitated, right? So then when I'm doing something for somebody, they don't have confidence in me, even if they're younger than me, even if I have proof that, they don't believe it because they're not seeing it getting done the way they would do it. So they're going to come into your life and they're going to hold you up by giving you their lack of confidence. And it's hard to have loving kindness because you're like, it becomes a juxtaposition of mentalities and capabilities. So for me to do something for somebody else, you got to let me just run with it because I'm that type of guy. And you will ultimately be behind me because your perception lacks more of the thought process than the get her done process. Because if you tried something, especially if somebody else that you're working for has you do it their way, and it is successful, you might not get to think past that to say, okay, well, maybe there is a better, easier way. Okay? And now, as an artist, I know where to lock on little details that keep people's eye and focus and attentions. So, like, let's say I'm cleaning a big rusty piece of metal with bolts in it, and I happen to get a thing this big because it fits the budget, it fits the convenience, okay? And then somebody else says they would use something this big. So now they're like, oh, it's going to take forever. But I know for a fact they're going to work harder, okay, for the most part, and they're going to focus on an overall, and they're going to miss the little crisp details that make my work better and more precise in them fashions. So if it's not like two things getting bolted together and it's designed to go that way only, and if it's like slapstick staccato kind of work, if I know what I'm doing, I'm going to smoke you. I'm going to beat you. Okay? If you force me to work your way and I know what I'm doing, you're making me fail. And there has to be a time. So, like, people, they say I get lucky when something goes successful. And I'm like, okay, you don't know me that well. You haven't been there for all my life, for life experiences. And because you see long hair, a little fog once in a while, and a Winnebago, you feel like I need help and adjustment. And I think that's pretty sad because that's what it ultimately comes down to. And then the ego cuts in where they'll say, no, well, I just want it done right. Or I just want to save you time. But you've already wasted the time that I would be meticulous with, that I would be able to conquer this situation and overcome things and take pride in my work and know that I'm doing it the right way for me. Because you know what? You can't I have twitch muscles. I spoke to drummers and shit and musicians. And one drummer, he was a karate master preacher. He talked about twitch muscle when I was like 23 years old. And I started learning that term, twitch muscle. And I'm like, you know what? It's exactly. So somebody else, some bigger blob dude, okay, anybody, bigger than me, okay, that has meat muscle, okay, is not going to have the same snappy, twitchy, focused sporadicism, on-off switch like me. So I will be able to concentrate on meticulous little areas at the same time I'm grazing over the probability. So if there's like, say, a 4x8 piece of metal that needs to be ground out, the rust removed, and it's got screws in, they'll put the same pressure on the whole piece of metal, like, when it's really not necessary, okay, because they want to sit there for that second and go, look at me, yeah, I'm a guy, I'm a metal. And meanwhile, I go there and I'm like a fucking whatever, okay, I guess, it's just, I can't do it. I won't work for somebody else, like solely where I wake up or every day. It will never fucking happen. It's, because it's slowing my life down, and what it does, it puts a ceiling on lives of people like me, a cap, and it makes us less, it makes us with less opportunity, and it makes us earn less. And I refuse to work in front of people, because they'll take their time where they don't have time and other things just to stop what they're doing because they think that I'm gonna fucking take too much time. So it's like, I mean, I love humanity, dude. I work my ass off. I love the common worker. I mean, these are the get-her-done people are great. But Jesus almighty, I need to be put in like a space station with like, I don't know. Honestly, Elon Musk, Neil deGrasse Tyson, people like Tesla, Freud, even Alan Watts, not such a, being such a mechanical guy, would say they understand me. But I'm stuck in a world for the layman. And I love the people because it allows me to feel human. And honestly, this is why I think that, I'm just not on the same wavelength and dimension as any of these people. And I refuse to be, because it's a downgrade for me. I feel like mankind is a couple clicks off because man watches man too much in ways and positions that they don't really apply to the ascension and growth of man. It's growing your dick, growing your business, growing your property. That's not growing humanity, okay? It's just not. And I feel like I feel downgraded and undermined and hindered in a little way. And it's sad because there's so many good people and they're bright and have good intentions, but I fight just to have my own perception so I could get through life, and nobody accounts for the past 49 years that I've been alive. I had an ex-wife. When she was my wife, she came over here from Brazil. I was already driving 10 years. That motherfucker's telling me how to fucking drive. I mean, that's what I'm talking about. How you gonna do that? And to me, I'm thinking, not only are you arrogantly telling me that I'm doing something that I've done for all these times, and but I know that you haven't. So what does that say? How does that make me feel? It makes me feel like I'm on a playground. And it's sad. Because I'm just I'm waiting. I'm just waiting for it. I am just fucking waiting for, it is a rapture. It's always a rapture. I'm just what are you going to do about it? I don't have problems because somebody took something away from me. I have problems because people are standing in the way of the life that they don't want to acknowledge, and at the same time they condemn through the contrast that it's not what they see or feel. So it's crippling, it's oppressing, and it's oppressing through money. I won't let money oppress me. I'll tell many a millionaire to go fuck themselves. I do not care, because at the end of the day, it's these hands and they're mine. okay? They're mine. God gave me all my experiences. And, I like to work on donation because it shows where people are and it allows me to see. I don't really take a loss in a lot of senses that way. I'd say sometimes, on average, I lose 10% of what I could get if I'd fight and be a money groveler, but I get gifted and benefited in other charitable forms by people that just know, because I am an artist and I am defining and I am defined by the characteristics of an artist. And when people realize the best thing you could be in life is an artist that for the world of one form or another, maybe you're you're social savvy of connecting people. That's an art, okay? To be an agent and a representative of somebody, those are arts too. There's a art and a method to everything, just like martial arts and fighting, combat, just like the culinary arts. So if people don't take an artistic approach and they take a mechanical approach, I think it's a sign for me to just I don't want to disrespect anybody, but I feel condemned and I feel doubted. I feel a lack of trust. And what goes by? A customer that tipped me an extra $300 because I blasted out their building and I went above and beyond, and they're an old printer and they saw that, oh shit, this guy's just like back in the day. He just takes like fucking paintbrush or a pencil or a chisel or a fucking knife and he starts carving it away, and all of a sudden here's something sitting there. See? What a good notion. Ha ha! So now I won't work until a certain point in time, because I know that somebody's going to come and they're going to have an opinion and they're going to bring me something that I don't need, right? Because I got a tool this big and they feel like I should get more done and be quicker if I have a tool this big. Those tools, I'm not charging for the tools I just got that are this big that I know that I got, because those are the tools I'm working with. I'm not going to charge them for those because I'm going to keep the other tools and do something else with them because they're not fitting today's application for me to do the job for them. So they're going to buy me tools for things that they would do on how they would do it when they're not the one doing it. And they don't know that the result that I am going to give them is better. And now, when I do a better result, they're going to think that it's because of their shit that they're getting me. And that fucking sucks. Why do I want to be a part of that, dude? That's like finishing my woman off in intimate love and passion and romance, and then she breaks a little prong out of a box, and then now I take a backseat to a fucking prong. Dude, God made me fucking good. God gave me gifts. Let me use them. I got them, not you. You know what God's gift gives to you? God gave you money to give me.